Do your hair a favor by checking in online and arriving just in time for your Sport Clips MVP haircut experience. While you surround yourself with sports on TV, fresh cut, massaging shampoo, and hot steam towel. Claim your spot today. SportClips.com/check-in.
And now, Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN Radio.
When I pop the trunk, head the dirt. Y'all pop the trunk, I pop the hood.
Now act stupid, I'll pop the trunk. Now give me a boom.
He's Jalen. First, everybody.
What up, Doe?
I'm David Jacoby.
And on the cool check-in.
Together we are Jalen and Jacoby.
Center stage on the mic.
And we putting it on wax. It's the news.
I messed up the intro.
You ran through the stop sign.
I want to do it again. We're
Nope.
Jalen Jacoby. What do we do?
Get up, people! What they want.
I can't believe we messed up the intro.
Hold on.
I messed up the intro. We did. Look, man, we win as a team, we lose as a team.
Got it.
I messed up the intro.
I'm playing hurt today. My neck and my back. My neck and my back. So here's
What
the
happened,
thing.
Jalen?
We don't have a television program.
No, podcast exclusive today. This is like when we used to do it. This is like 5 years ago when I wasn't sure if you were going to show up. I would text you. You wouldn't text me back at what day you wanted to do it. And then you would, and then finally you'd be like, let's do it today at 3 p.m. You'd send that text at 1 p.m. So we had to book it. And then we don't really have a plan. We don't really prepare. We just yap for an hour. That's what we're doing today, and I'm very excited about this
And then I say I'm going to be there at 3 and I come at 3:30 and
Yes.
Bill wants you to allow me to do the pod and you want to fire me.
Yes. Not fire you, suspend you.
Discipline.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we talk a lot about health kicks and crazes. And by the way, for everybody listening to this program, I got the most handsome, hardworking
Just stop.
partner in the industry.
Stop, because I
This
know
guy's
you're
doing
going to say something.
2 a days.
I know you're going to say something mean after you say something nice. Just
Not
stop.
at all.
Let's talk about
this
your
guy's
your
doing
back.
yoga.
Let's talk about your
This
back.
guy's playing basketball. This
Got buckets
guy's
today.
training. This guy's getting his hair cut.
I don't really get buckets. I just really act like I'm going to shoot, and then I pass to somebody who's going to score. That's my game.
Did you do the behind the back pass?
Of course. Every
That's
game.
signature.
I do one every game.
And so I'm at the house on the East Coast. Molly's consistent about her training and her discipline and working out. So she's downstairs. She's doing her little regimen.
Like a finished basement.
No question. So she on the treadmill, got the dumbbells, got the bar.
Bars!
Got everything, right?
She's got bars!
So I'm like, you know what? Every time your better half walk past you and go work out, they start to look at you more and more.
Why do you think I'm working out so much now?
Correct. So this day is like, you gonna work out with me? I'm like, all right, cool.
Can't say no.
So I go in there, I got on shorts, I got on my house shoes, my Uggs, I'm just chilling.
Uggs?
Man caving it.
Uggs?
Yeah, I got man Uggs.
Do they free?
Well, number one, I got them from my better half, but number
Okay.
two,
Oh, then I love them.
they're warm and furry on the inside.
I know.
They're fly. I like them. So anyway,
Fly.
size 15,
They're
fam.
comfortable.
I don't rock. They're better than slides.
Sure.
First, I was rocking slides.
Sure.
And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to get in here and act like I'm working out so she'll leave me alone. When I can go back in there and drink hot sake that I just warmed up in the microwave, it's going to take about 5 minutes to thaw out anyway, like your coffee or tea in the morning. So I do a couple of warm up hot sake.
I'm just gonna let you just keep going, but that makes no sense to me. I've never put sake in the microwave ever in my life. Ever in my life. Also, when I make coffee in the morning, which I don't do, it doesn't take 5 minutes to cool down.
How long does it take?
30 seconds?
When you have a top on it, it takes a really long time when you have hot tea or hot coffee. But anyway, for everybody else in the world, including
Yes,
me.
for everybody else who has to do, temperature works different.
And so I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to get a sake 5 minutes, so I can
Get a
become
nice
room
5-minute
temperature.
workout in.
Yeah, I'm going to go real quick, So I'm like, I'm going to do some squats with the bar.
Bars.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, my legs pointed outwards, my knees pointed outwards, my toes pointed outwards. She's like, your form is terrible. You shouldn't be doing it like that. I'm like, I got this. So in my head, I'm going to do like 10 different versions of my feet pointing in different directions and just He-Man it. Do a little abs, do a little push-ups, and I'm out.
5 minute workout with Jalen Rose.
the middle of the night, like 4 a.m, my back was killing me.
You're so old.
And I'm tossing and turning, and she like, you know what? You're going to have to take an Advil or something. You keeping both of us
And if you
up.
don't know, Jalen Rose doesn't take pills.
Correct.
He doesn't like any pill, any type of
and
pill.
I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do it right now. I'll just stay up. So normally we wake up at like 5:30, 5:45. I just stayed up. Then the next day my back was killing me. I didn't want to tell her she was right. So we driving in the car, take a time to get to Bristol. I ain't going to tell you guys how long because I want y'all to know where I live. And so, boom, my back is killing me. And so it feels better now, fam, after this 5-hour flight from JFK to LAX. But I may have to punt on hooping.
Really? What? So just so you know, I play basketball 2 or 3 times a week. Jalen Rose is invited, standing invite. He belongs to the gym that I go to. There's always a reason why you're not hooping. And he just said to me before the show, we had some food. Jalen brought food for the staff, as he often does. Thank you. And you basically committed to playing on Friday, just literally 30 minutes ago. And now it seemed like when you said that you were going to play Friday, you knew in your heart of hearts that there was no chance that was going to happen.
No, I think the Advil wore off. Because once I sat here again, I'm like, my back hurt. That's what made me derail the entire show. This amazing.
I put a rundown together.
That you put together.
You don't
5 this morning.
You know, people don't want to hear about Kawhi Leonard being out indefinitely. People don't want to hear your take on the Clippers sieging the Rockets sieging the Clippers locker room. All the Cavs complaining about their roster's not good enough and they should trade the Brooklyn pick. You don't want to talk about any of that. You know what the people don't want? The people don't want that. The people want to hear about your back problems, your old man back problems. That's what the people want.
Here's what the people want. Realness.
Oh.
And the first thing you do to somebody that you like, you admire, that you respect, when you answer the telephone or when you see them in person, what are the first couple of things you do?
How you doing?
Correct. And everybody normally says,
good.
I'm not doing good.
All right, so let's delve into it. Where is the back pain? Lower back?
The place I feel like you should get a tattoo.
Tramp stamp area?
Yes.
So right there. When does it hurt the most? Because if we're going to talk about it, let's really talk about it.
It hurts the most when I'm sitting down.
When you're sitting down?
I stood up yesterday for like 3-4 hours.
Lean back, lean forward. Doesn't hurt more or less?
It hurts when I'm sitting. Period.
Okay.
In a car, on a plane, in
and
this
you acted
chair.
like it didn't hurt because you didn't want Molly to be right.
I didn't want to tell. Correct.
Do you think she's going to listen to this version of the podcast? I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, she's not.
It's audio only.
Yeah, so don't tweet at Molly. Don't. Because then she'll definitely listen.
Yes.
If she gets like 10 tweets about it, she'll definitely listen then.
Shout out.
New news about Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, who has been out, started the season out for a quad injury and then came back and then had a little bit of trouble kind of getting in full force. Now, out again with the same quad injury that kept him out at the beginning of the season. He's now out indefinitely. We have not seen Kawhi Leonard at 100%. It hasn't hurt the Spurs' win-loss record that much in a weird way, but we have not seen Kawhi Leonard as himself this season, and this is all very concerning for the Spurs.
It's not only concerning for the Spurs, but it's concerning for the league. Yep. If I'm talking about who are the top 5 players in the game, his name comes up without hesitation in most people's list or rankings, no matter what. And so that's number one. Number two, I'm just going to address the elephant in the room. You're going to hear rumblings that Kawhi Leonard is unhappy in San Antonio.
What? That means he would have to talk. That means
I like what you did there. And
he doesn't have emotions. What do you mean unhappy?
People that listen to our program, the reason why we've come with the term broken news is because before it becomes an avalanche, we've talked about it first.
To everyone else, it's breaking news. To Jalen and Jacoby listeners, it's broken news.
And yes, he's a California native. And the team in purple and gold is going to have a lot of money this summer to try to woo free agents. And Kawhi's scenario in San Antonio has been unique because all-time greatness permeates in that franchise. For anybody that doesn't believe that they didn't have a super team, you haven't been watching. Because I've been on the floor with David Robinson and Tim Duncan. I'm looking around like, these guys got a super team.
Mm-hmm.
Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker.
All Hall of Famers that you just said. Everyone's a Hall of Famer.
No, I'm like, this is a super team.
Yes.
You know, I know people were talking about the Bulls when they had theirs, or the Lakers when they got Gary and Karl Malone, or whatever. And so there are those that feel that ultimately his future is not going to lie in San Antonio. I don't hope to believe so. When we talk about major free agents going places, and this is where I'm going to defend the people of San Antonio and Oklahoma City and New Orleans, large market media always try to recruit the best players to their team. Everybody's going to Boston, LA, or New York.
Everybody is. All the rumors have them going there.
And so if you look at what has taken place over the last couple of years, LaMarcus Aldridge has gone to play with Kawhi, but no other notable free agents have just yet.
It seemed like Chris Paul was such a perfect fit. It fitted a need that they had. They had the space. I know they had the conversation.
And this is not a Spurs or Kawhi, or definitely not a Pop, R.C. Buford. Amazing organization. I still have playoff series ears ringing terms of people singing, "Go Spurs, go!" Years later in my ears. That's how much respect I have for what they've accomplished. And so when you're unable to attract high-level free agents, the reason why I don't blame them clearly, I blame the players, and here's why. Sometimes you miss a great opportunity. I forget who made this quote, because it's dressed in overalls and it looks like work.
You got that from me, and I got it from a children's book from Pete the Cat.
And so when you look at where free agents should sign, the reason why the players haven't done it just yet, and I'm hoping this happens. Remember, we were standing on the table begging people to go to OKC to run with Russell.
Yeah.
And then it actually happened. And I was speaking in the microphone saying Cantor is going to be dominant in the East way before the trade even happened. So, for the players, it's like, man, Pop's the leader. He's going to yell at me. He's going to rest me when I'm healthy. He's going to limit my minutes. That looks like work.
Also,
that's going to mess up my numbers.
It seems like they run an offense where they kind of cut and pass to the places that they're supposed to, kind of like it's drawn up on the whiteboard. Not just like, hey, if I got the ball and my man's leaning the wrong way, I can just take it to the hole and do whatever I want.
So it's almost like their standard has become so high that nobody wants to jump over it. When we're talking about if LeBron James is going to go play somewhere, and I'm going to get to this later, why are we not saying, man, he should go team up with Kawhi in San Antonio, if it's only about beating the Warriors and winning championships?
Well, he would go to the Rockets. Let's talk about it. He would go to the Rockets if it was about beating the Warriors and winning championships. So that's the best team that's available for him to go to.
Correct. And we're going to pivot to LeBron, but to wrap up the Kawhi thing, do not believe the rumors that he's unhappy in San Antonio. He's not sitting out to try to prove a point. The gentleman is really injured. And hopefully for all of us, he can find a way to get back on the floor. And it also says continues to point to the greatness of the Spurs, that they're still a top 4, top 5 team in the Western Conference.
It's crazy.
Without a top 5 player in lineup.
What has been able to do this year, seems like he's got an all-star spot waiting for him. It's impressive. But let's talk about the Cavs, because we haven't done a show for a day, and a lot happened in the day. First of all, the Clippers, Rockets thing, whatever. We'll talk about that. We'll get to that later. The Cavs, after the loss to the Warriors, pull aside some reporters, some anonymous, prominent Cavaliers. There's only about 6 of those. Pull aside some reporters and say, I'm not going to put my name on this, but I am going to say that this roster will not compete and that we need to make a change. And then we got Woj saying that they're looking to add size. They're looking to add size. We've got Isaiah Thomas saying that the Cavs don't even practice. Seems like there's a lot, but I'm going to start with this. Shouldn't the Cavs be practicing?
Not a game.
Not a game. I mean, you played in the NBA. I assume that practice was part of the, if you didn't have a game, you would practice.
Well, first and foremost, it's based on your schedule. And recently, the Cavs had a rash of road games, and they've struggled, losing 8 of their last 10 as we record this podcast. Yep. And so when those road trips happen and your best players are playing heavy minutes, you can practice if you want, but it's not going to matter because the 10 or 15 roster spot guys that are out there running the first team stuff and or the second team stuff, guess what's going to happen when the game starts? They're going to be on the sideline.
Yes.
So if LeBron, Wade, Kevin Love, if those guys ain't practicing or going hard, it's irrelevant to do. And so there are other ways to get players caught up with their conditioning and with the plays and with their roles that are just as much mental as they are physical.
Like what? Film study,
and also shells of plays. This is where you'll be. This is where you can cut. This is where you can stand.
Type of stuff.
This is where you can find your opportunity in transition. This is where you can be aggressive on this playoff pick and roll. This is how, if you turn the corner, that's going to be a shooter in that corner, that wing, or you could just pull up in the paint. Like, the game is a lot more mental than it actually is physical.
Well, he said that he didn't have legs. I mean, for him, there's also obviously some physical conditioning thing that he needs to catch up with. Yep. But if you're Isaiah Thomas, don't wait for the franchise to schedule something for you to get in shape, right? Like, it's like, all right, if they're not practicing and you think that you need the practice, then schedule your own time. I'm sure there's someone that's wearing a Cavs logo on their team issued gear that'd be willing to meet you at the gym to do some drills.
And in his defense, this is where, like, first off, those players that talked off the record to Woj, who does a great job, no shots at all.
It wasn't necessarily Woj in that respect, but yeah.
Or many men. Many men.
I believe many men was involved.
Or my guy, Windhorse. Those guys have it covered. But here's what I would say. Cowards.
Really?
Yeah. Because here's the thing.
So if it's Dwayne or J.R. Smith or Tristan Thompson or LeBron himself, Isaiah Thomas, like, what other sort of prominent Cavaliers do we have? Kevin Love.
Would you ever go up to someone and be like, I love Jalen. That's my guy. But he shows up 1 minute before we do the show. He never does any research. He doesn't prepare. We can't compete for an Emmy.
Yeah, I would do that.
But who would you do it to, is the point. You wouldn't do it to the media.
Not the stranger.
You would do it to your life partner that lives with you.
Sure.
You would do it to probably one or two people that work on this show. You're not going to say it into a microphone to be recorded as an anonymous source.
Well, I'm certainly not going to say, you can print that, but don't put my name on it.
No, you wouldn't have in the atmosphere an anonymous source that works on Jalen and Jacoby says. That's what this is.
Here's the thing, like, so what do you want the Cavs franchise to do, anonymous source? You want them to what? Leverage some future assets to get some sort of like washed up veteran experienced players. You've done that over and over and over. Look at this roster that's not good enough. Like look at Jeff Green. You forget they've got the team. Corver. They got last year. They got Bogut last year. They got Wade. Like, they got guys. They added pieces. They've got Isaiah Thomas, who's in the MVP conversation. Derrick Rose. Like I'm forgetting guys. They have experienced veterans that can contribute and score. They're just not doing it. It's just not clicking or working. Now, they don't play defense.
You know the B side of experience? Old.
That's a good point. There's another way of saying veteran experience. Old and washed up and can't jump and
by the way, the oldest squad in the league, the highest grossing roster in the NBA.
And some of the worst defense in the league, too.
And also, you ready for this one? One of the most specialty-driven rosters in the game. And here's what I mean. For those that can't follow that by just that term. People that only can do one thing.
Shoot.
And then have other glaring weaknesses that need to be covered up via team. Because, by the way, everybody that plays on the team, everybody that plays, especially a team sport, we all have strengths and weaknesses except the all-time greats.
Of course.
And so, Isaiah Thomas, terrific scorer.
Yeah.
I want to see him get a max contract. He killed in Boston last year. I want to see him get healthy. Because of him, I'm going to look up in the Eastern Conference Finals. He's going to be balling and they're going to make it to the finals.
He's also going to get posted up. He's also going to get
But also when they get to the finals,
he's going to be involved in pick and rolls.
And they're going to put him into action.
Yes. When you run a series, it's not just, they're coming to town for one night. When you're in a series environment, you find ways to use
J.R. Smith, one of the best heat check scorers in the game.
It's cold, though. Man's not hot.
Not a dribble pass.
Man's not hot.
Threat.
No.
Once they're out there.
No. Kyle Korver, Channing Frye, do nothing but shoot.
Correct. And you want Jeff Green slashing. You don't want him shooting. You want Crowder to be a 3-and-D guy. He hasn't really consistently been able to produce. You want Wade to show flashes, but that's just what it's going to be at this point of his career.
Wade's supposed to be second unit LeBron.
And so Kevin Love and LeBron are really the only two guys that do multiple things. You want Channing Frye, you want Tristan Thompson to rebound, set picks, and block shots.
One of the problems is we're going to move Kevin Love to center. The league is getting smaller. We'll have a bunch of shooters out there. It's like no rim protection.
And first and
no
foremost,
rim protection.
What I'm about to say into a microphone, don't at me, because you've heard this before. What do we support on this show as it relates to relationships? And I've seen this topic come up over the last couple of days with Danica Patrick and Aaron Rodgers' relationship becoming public. You heard that first here. And this is what I'm going to say in Tristan Thompson's case. We support
power couples.
So we're not saying run.
Stay.
As somebody who grew up without a dad.
Stay, Tristan.
We're definitely not saying run.
Stay.
Support, fall in love, get married for 50 years. Support. But I will say this. When they went public in the playoffs last year, look at his stats in the finals. Look at what's happened this offseason. He lost his Ironman streak. The team lost Kyrie.
He's not playing well.
He lost his starting spot.
He lost everything. He doesn't feel the same when he touches the basketball.
And now he's one of the players that they're like, we got to get him out of here.
Oh, yeah. No one wants him.
And so when you look at that roster, it is going to be good enough to win the East.
Even as it is right now, absolutely good enough to win the East.
Because I'm betting on Isaiah Thomas.
Yes. And Aaron Baines, he can't start Aaron Baines and win the Eastern Conference.
Now, however, when you flip the page to the NBA Finals, all I know standing in the arena is since that time, the Golden State Warriors have gotten better.
Oh, yeah.
And the Cavs have gotten worse.
Oh, yeah.
And the Warriors won in 5
How
last year.
many games did the Cavs win in the finals last year?
1.
Yeah.
And game 4, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love played really
Just
well.
went off. Yeah.
For that to take place. This Cavs team I'm watching right now, and you could put a microphone in front of LeBron James' face, Tyronn Lue's face, they'll tell you this exact same thing. This team that I'm watching, they won't get a game against the Warriors.
Nope. I wonder what they want them to do. Like, what do you want if you're LeBron James? And one thing I don't want to hear, and I've been listening to a lot of sports stuff, is the LeBron James owes it to the franchise to tell them what he wants to do. He doesn't know what he's going to do. He doesn't know what he's going to do.
He don't know.
And guess what? We signed a contract.
Don't know.
We have a business relationship. We sign a contract. When the contract's up, we'll start talking about signing another contract, and I'll start talking to other teams. That's the way this business works. Until then, I'm going to play basketball with this uniform on, and then we'll readdress later.
So I got something for LeBron before I directly answer your question. If LeBron James leaves, it won't be for a Western Conference team.
You don't think he would go to the Rockets? I could see him going to the Rockets.
It won't be for a Western Conference team.
Not the Lakers. I could see him going for the Rockets.
You ready for this? They don't play a style conducive to his strengths.
Winning?
Offensively.
I understand what you're saying.
We talked about them having enough balls for James and CP3.
Worked out great.
Those two guys, along with LeBron James, have the highest usage in the whole NBA. And guess what LeBron James doesn't want to do 50% of the time?
Stand in the corner on the weak side. Wait for a swing pass so he can shoot a 3.
Nope. And here's the other thing he doesn't want to do. Play the Warriors before the finals.
Nope.
Hey guys, is it time to get your hair in the game?
Time to claim your spot!
Then it's time to check in online at sportclips.com/check-in for a fresh cut, legendary hot steam towel and massaging shampoo.
Time to claim your spot!
So do your hair a favor by checking in online and arrive just in time for your Sport Clips MVP haircut experience while you surround yourself with sports on TV. Get in line online at sportclips.com/check-in.
Time to claim your spot!
So here's what will happen if LeBron leaves.
Putting it on wax.
If LeBron decided to leave.
So when LeBron leaves,
Don't throw something at me when I tell everybody this.
I won't.
If LeBron James leaves Cleveland, I think he's going to end up with the Boston Celtics.
What?
Say that again, because I swear you said Boston Celtics.
He's going to do a KD.
Wait, what?
You know how KD left OKC, a playoff team,
I'm very familiar with what KD did.
that the Warriors beat in the playoffs.
So lose to the Celtics, sign with the Celtics, so the Celtics bring back Gordon Hayward and LeBron James for next season. Jalen, do you have any sources? Not a reliable source.
Washington is going to get mentioned too, except I don't think they're strong enough up front. They're too inconsistent.
I would rather stay in Cleveland than go to Washington.
Here's what I think will happen if he loses.
The Celtics would have to dump Horford.
If LeBron James decides to leave Cleveland, it won't be for a Western Conference team. In my opinion, he would do a Kevin Durant. He would, in reverse, beat the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, get swept or lose in 5 to the Golden State Warriors, and then go run with the Celtics.
Have you told the Pop Father this?
I have not.
I can't wait till you would talk to the Pop Father. Can we call him?
I actually texted him about being on his pod tomorrow. He said he can't do this week because he's out of town. What about next week? It'll be broken news by then.
I want to see the pod. I want to see the Pop Father's face when you say this to him. So are you speculating? Or is this one of those things where you're in some secret conversations and you can't really reveal your sources? Not a reliable source.
Here's the thing. I don't need to be on the bottom of the ticker. I like the media following me, not the paparazzi.
Okay.
So therefore, I'm putting this on wax. In my opinion, if LeBron James leaves the Cleveland Cavaliers, it's going to be to join the Boston Celtics. A la Kevin Durant, what he did when he left OKC to join the Warriors.
Well, the Celtics would have to dump some salary to make that happen.
I got to tell you a secret.
Horford's got to be gone.
I got to tell you a secret.
What?
LeBron's a free agent.
I know, Jalen. You cannot sign. They can't sign 16 max players. Just in order for the league to allow it to happen, you need to hit certain salary cap goals.
I didn't say he was going to sign a 5-year, $200 million deal.
Okay.
There are ways to make this work. When Chris Paul goes to the Clippers and says, I don't want to be here anymore, as a matter of fact, not only do I not want to be here, I want to be in Houston. Guess what ends up happening? Another 5 to 6 players have to move their families because Chris Paul wants to go to Houston. Mm-hmm. That's just how the game works.
I can't believe you have LeBron James going to the Celtics. What? You're speechless.
No.
Imagine you're Danny Ainge, okay? And you're like, Kyrie, what you've done for us this season has been amazing. You've turned around your career. You've proven that you can do it without LeBron James. LeBron was holding you back. You're not a little brother, Kyrie. You're a big brother. You're Gordon Hayward's big brother. You are a leader of this team. You know what? Because of you, I really started questioning whether or not the earth was actually round. That's what you've done to this franchise. Not only that, you've integrated yourself into this city. You are free of LeBron James holding you back. Guess what? We're making a move to get LeBron James.
How about this? Some people play chess when others are playing checkers. You can't say my theory and my ideology and people I talk to that this doesn't make sense.
I would say this is I think that LeBron James is very carefully curating his legacy as he gets to the second half of his career. He's going to play for another 5 or 6 or 7 years, whatever. But he understands his legacy, and he's saying, you know what? I do like that I've been to 7 straight finals. I do like that there's only a handful of basketball players in the world that can raise their arms and say, I've been to 7 finals.
He mentions it every month. I don't even feel like a guy that's been to 7 straight finals.
He'll bring it up all the time.
Man.
For real. And he could stay in the East, and there's no team. There are very few teams that you add LeBron James to in the East. I mean, even at the bottom of the East, there are very few teams that you add LeBron James to that are not in contention for the Eastern Conference Championship.
Because let me tell you what would have happened had Gordon Hayward not gotten injured. This season, the Boston Celtics would have beat them anyway.
That's a hypothetical.
No, it's not.
That's a hypothetical.
No, it's not.
It's a hypothetical.
No, it isn't.
If
Gordon
LeBron James
Hayward plays at an approximation of what he's capable of, the Boston Celtics are a team that beats the Cleveland Cavaliers 4-2 in the playoffs.
If Isaiah Thomas grew wings and learned how to fly, then they would definitely beat the Celtics in a 7-game series. He'd be flying all over the place, throw the ball up to him, can't even reach him. He'll just fly over to the other side of the court and drop it in the hoop.
See, what you're saying is unrealistic. What I'm saying is a team that has the number 1 seed without Gordon Hayward.
Could you see Gordon Hayward coming back this year?
No.
I can see it.
Not
Remember,
smart.
I circled the game, March 25th against Sacramento.
You've been owning that. I appreciate
March
it.
25th against Sacramento gives him 10 games in the regular season.
Speaking of coming back, are the ball boys back from Lithuania yet? We need to count
They
down
had
for
60
that.
points. So there's 2 games they're playing. I'm starting to learn about what they're doing in Lithuania. They've got the Big Baller Challenge, which is when they have 5 games, which are exhibition games against youth teams.
This is what I told y'all. There was 17 and under players. You arguing with me up and down.
That was off wax. The Big Baller Challenge. The Big Baller Challenge is basically curated by LeVar Ball as a showcase for his sons to score points. That's the one type of game they play. The other type of game they play, the actual professional basketball games, that's when they score 0 points. So listen. If you're in a world that LeVar Ball has put himself in, where all that matters is what the cameras capture, not necessarily the substance of what's being said or what's happening, then you can have these exhibitions and say, look, my boy's got 60 points. But there's also the other side of the coin is like, well, when you actually play against actual professionals, you play 9 minutes and get 0 points.
And we've said on this program that they won't last until Valentine's Day.
They're coming back for Valentine's Day.
And as we circle it back to LeBron again, if LeBron James wants to continue to dominate the East, he can. He will. But if he wants to win another championship, Boston Celtics.
Jalen just winked. What? Well, remember where you heard it first. I'm skeptical. You know what? I just want to hear what the Podfather has to say. That's what I want to hear. We'll let the Podfather be the deciding vote on this.
LeBron is one of those players that everybody either loves or hates, and then you feel like you don't like him, and you like, he coming to Miami?
My team?
He coming to Miami?
I love LeBron.
I love him.
I'm getting a jersey.
He's coming back to Cleveland? Oh, man, I'm about a New Jersey.
Yep. I still think that if he leaves, he goes to Houston. I really do.
Not getting he don't want to get eliminated in the Western Conference Finals.
No. Buying tickets to sports and concerts can be complicated and confusing, but there's a better way to buy with SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the smartest, easiest way to get tickets for every type of live event, whether you're searching for a last-minute deal, planning a night out, or finding the perfect gift. SeatGeek helps you find the best seats at the best prices, all fully guaranteed. There's nothing quite like seeing your favorite team or musician in person, and SeatGeek will get you closer to the action for a great value. I've got the SeatGeek app on my phone, and one of the things I want to do is I want to take my kid to a Clippers game or a Lakers game, and I can do it at the last minute. I just pop open the SeatGeek app. I can get 2 tickets, and wherever I get the tickets, I know they're fully guaranteed, and I also know that I'm getting them at a great value. It's so helpful. SeatGeek saves you time and money by searching multiple ticket sites to compare prices and find you amazing deals. And you get the most bang for your buck. SeatGeek grades every ticket based on value to help you immediately identify the best seats that fit your budget. You can buy tickets with confidence that you're getting a good deal when you use SeatGeek. Every purchase is fully guaranteed, so you don't need to worry about that. And you can make SeatGeek your go-to app for finding the best deals of any type of ticket, whether it's sports, concerts, comedy, theater, anything. If it's happening live and they sell tickets to it, SeatGeek can get you there. Just download the SeatGeek app and enter promo code Jacoby today. Jacoby. Promo code Jacoby at SeatGeek app, and you get $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. Download the SeatGeek app, enter promo code Jacoby, and get yourself $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase.
What's up, Fred?
Jalen, Aaron Afflalo threw a real punch. It was a I don't know if we talked to Max Kellerman about the technique of the punch. I don't know if Max Kellerman, I don't know if a boxing coach would necessarily co-sign the reach back and swing around full circle at the face with the palm, try to hit him with the palm of the hand. But he threw a real punch in an NBA game. So we always say about hold me back league, and no one wants to fight. And you always say you don't want to hurt your hands. Aaron Afflalo, getting after it.
You ready for me to chime in on this?
Sure.
Okay.
I can keep going.
Okay. You can also ask Max about something that I learned at Kronk Gym when I was really young. Watching Emmanuel put youngsters in the ring to see if you really wanted to fight or you were just in the gym because it was cold outside. It's called taking punches or pulling punches. I'm seeing people saying Aaron Afflalo threw a haymaker. I saw that term be used. He pulled the punch.
What do you mean by that?
When you pull a punch, you want the person to feel the wind of it, but you really aren't trying to land it.
He hit him with the inside of his palm.
And let me show you and tell you how he pulled it. When you watch the video, if I pull your shirt and punch you, I'm going to connect.
Okay.
Those things go hand in hand. Pull you, punch you. He got the pull. He whiffed on the punch.
I do like the headlock as a response. I love it because it's something that you do to a child, something you do to a little brother. Like, sir, calm down. I'm not going to try to punch you. I'm just going to try to restrain you so you can't punch me and treat you like a child.
And what I'm telling the public, as I told you, when Adam Silver doles out his fines for that incident, there's another gentleman for Orlando that also threw a punch that pulled it on the exact same play.
What do you mean?
There was someone else involved in the altercation. He comes to play peacemaker, then he tries to throw a chicken wing.
I like this though. The aggressive peacemaker, DJ Augustin, number 14.
Yes. He also threw an air maker.
So we watched this footage a few times. I didn't see DJ Augustin throw any kind of punch or even try to throw a punch or do anything, but kind of walk over, think about throwing a punch or getting involved, then think about the money it was going to cost him, and then just wait for the refs.
You know what I would have done in that skirmish?
Ran.
In that melee?
Just ran.
In that dust up?
Screamed and ran.
Almost like when there's a fumble and multiple people are just diving on one another and just chaos.
You was on the Lonzo?
To try to see who's going to come up with the loose ball. I would have cut Alfred Payton's hair.
Everything going on, people getting held back. Jalen runs over to the trainer, like, give me some scissors, some tape. Give me the tape scissors. Boom, cut his hair. And he did locker room after. That was crazy, Alfred. I don't even know what's happening out there. I grabbed the scissors because I saw there was a fight. I saw there was a fight. I grabbed the scissors.
I had your back.
It just got your
I
hair.
was about to come stab somebody. Why? Why?
Attention shoppers, clean up on aisle 14. Clean up on aisle 14. Someone dropped a jar of pickles. Pickles. Kosher pickles.
Beatboxing at a big box store. Surprising. What's not surprising? How much you could save by switching to Geico.
A red minivan has the lights on in the parking lot.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Geico.
What day is it, Jalen?
Hump Day, which is Women Crush Wednesday.
It's the day where we celebrate smarter, more reasonable, more responsible, kinder,
disciplined,
gentler,
harder working,
superior gender of our species, the ladies. One of the ways we do so is we take only female voicemails.
Educated.
If you call 985-80-JALEN, you can leave us a voicemail. We'll play it on the show just like this.
What up, Jalen Jacoby? It's Shauna calling from San Diego. I have a question. My husband and I are heading into our anniversary week. Our first year of marriage is, our anniversary is on Sunday, the 21st. And I just had a question for you for Women Crush Wednesday. Is it a boss move or a soft move to shout out Jalen Jacoby in your wedding vows? Because I most certainly did so in our vows. And my husband, Sean, we're Sean and Shauna, we are big fans of the pod. We listen together, or separately, but we listen every day, and we just love what you do. So let me know if it's a boss move or a soft move. Keep doing what you're doing, and that's it. Bye.
Shauna and Sean.
Shout out.
Fans of the pod putting us in the wedding vows. We're honored. We're flattered. People put a lot of effort into those.
What do we support on this
Power
program?
couples.
You guys are a power couple.
Shauna and Sean in San Diego having their. Do you know one thing I like that she said? This is our anniversary week. Anniversary week.
And husband, like, wait a minute. No, so we just paid for the wedding.
Yeah, that was just a year ago.
You know what I mean? Now we're doing the anniversary. I'm finally getting my bread back right.
We're going to have to take some of these.
You know what I mean? You want to do something for the weekend,
maybe? Wedding week, anniversary week. Good for Shauna and Sean.
Enjoy.
That's a boss move.
No question.
We continue on Women Crush Wednesday, taking only female voicemails. Reg, play another, please.
Hey guys, this is Erin calling from Cleveland. I first wanted to give a shout out to my boyfriend David. He gave me a shout out a couple weeks ago on his birthday. Just wanted to say hey, 'cause he's awesome. Was wondering, soft move or boss move to continue being a season Browns ticket holder? Love you guys. Thanks so much. Bye.
First of all, shout out to David and Aaron, power couple in Cleveland.
Shout out.
Supporting the local franchises. I know there's a lot of Cleveland Cavaliers hats, sweatshirts, a lot of Indians, excitement. But it's a boss move. Stick with the Browns. They're your hometown team. It'll be much sweeter when they get back to the mountaintop. I learned this as a Red Sox fan growing up. Everything was always bad. We were always losing in terrible ways, losing to the Yankees every single year. But when we turned the corner, beat the Yankees, it was one of the best feelings I've ever had associated with sports.
Hit the brakes. Did you just have the nerve to try to tell one of our family members that called in on a Women Crush Wednesday to be loyal to a team? Did you just say that into a microphone?
Yeah, I did.
Die Easy fan?
I did.
You?
The Die Easy life isn't for everybody. It's like the minivan life. It's not for everybody. Some people can't stomach it. You know? Some people can't stomach it.
Here's what I noticed about fans that sometimes go on to work in the media. If you notice...
Wait, who are you talking about? You talking about me right now?
No, I'm talking in general. I don't have one person in mind. It just always fascinates me that somebody's from Michigan, but they love the Steelers. Mm-hmm. Oh, man, they really love the Cowboys. Oh, just can't get enough of Alabama in football. It's almost like you're going to claim the hometown team that's the best and then claim a team from somewhere else that's really good in an era that you grew up in.
Of course.
Yep. And you can relate to that because that's called
front-running fandom.
Yep. Okay. I, like you, have something in common. The Browns and the Lions
you do.
Haven't won anything since the 60s. Nope. I feel your pain, and I'm still a Lions fan. Rooting for Matt Patricia.
Do you see the picture of Matt Patricia without a beard?
No.
I'd put it in his contract. You need a beard.
Did he cut it?
He just looks so different. He looks softer.
He cut it after he got it?
No, he didn't. I just saw a picture of him when he didn't have it. If I own the Lions, I would put it in his contract. Say, with the beard, if we're signing you, we're signing the beard too.
No, that's not how the pulse of the people work. We want him to have the beard. We want him to have the pencil in his ear.
That's what I'm saying. You need the beard. If you shave the beard, you can't be our head coach.
All right, I'm rolling.
Be like, I want this Matt Patricia. I don't want a different Matt Patricia.
I'm rolling.
Same thing if I sign James Harden. I want the beard too.
I don't know what people that he's going to bring on his staff, but I noticed one thing.
Jim Bob's going to stay. I
noticed one thing. Todd Haley helped develop an offense in Pittsburgh where Le'Veon Bell's become the elite running back. Antonio Brown's become an elite receiver. I don't care if it's Juju Smith. I don't care if it's Bryant. They're out there making plays. Big Ben done won 2 Super Bowls. He won't be without a job for long. And how much they score against Jacksonville? Like 40?
42.
42? He wasn't the problem?
One of those was their last second touchdown and nothing didn't matter though.
But 3 of them was on 4th down.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
2 of them were on 4th down. The other 2 4th downs they went for didn't go so well.
They got 4 of 6. He wasn't the problem. Defense was the problem.
There was no
Overlooking
defense.
the Jags was the problem.
There was no defense.
The team that they were playing against had a Jalen on the squad was the problem.
I'm glad you brought up the Jags because Leonard Fournette got in a car accident. Do you think Bill Belichick hired somebody to crash into Leonard Fournette? You know they love to cheat. You know they love to cheat. Did Bill Belichick hire somebody to crash into Leonard Fournette? No, sorry, not Bill Belichick. Did Bill Belichick tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody to hire somebody to crash into Leonard Fournette?
You mean the Patriots would cheat?
I just asked a simple question.
No.
I didn't make a claim. I asked a question.
They wouldn't tape a team's...
I didn't make a claim, Jalen Rose. I just asked a question.
They wouldn't tape a team's practice and walk through without them knowing.
No.
And steal their signals.
No.
Like they did against the Rams.
They were studying the weather pattern in the stadium at the Super Bowl with audio and video to see what the type of the light was during that time of day.
They wouldn't deflate footballs that allowed them to be easier to catch and harder to fumble.
You played a lot of basketball. You know when it's cold outside, the ball doesn't bounce. Weather conditions can change the inflation level of a football. You know that. I used to have 2 basketballs. I learned this from Larry Bird. Put one next to the stove, warm that one up, shoot outside, and then switch them. I literally did that because Larry Bird wrote about that in the book Drive.
And also, I don't think he's an accomplice in the Leonard Fournette scenario, but I think the people do want to hear more about your love of Larry Bird and things you used to do when you were a youth as it relates to Larry Legend and show how enthusiastic you were about him being a Boston Celtic champion,
I love
future
Larry
Hall
Bird.
of Fame.
You gotta remember, I was born in 1978. They were great in the mid-'80s, and this is when NBA on NBC was every Saturday with inside stuff before. It was like there was only 1 or 2 games you could actually watch. And that's how this went a lot of those.
And that show was dope with Will Obey and Ahmad Rashad.
Oh, that show was so dope. That was everything to me. And then, but Larry started getting good, so I fell in love with him. They won a couple championships, lost a couple, whatever. He started coming out with books and stuff and how to shoot basketball books, and I just ate all that up. He had this one book, it was how to shoot a basketball. It was like a paperback, real thin book. And I would just eat it up. Eat it up. I read his biography. I had a Larry Legend poster that I would pray to before games.
Say that again to people that don't know about real dedication and love.
Larry Legend poster. It was in my room. And, you know, we got to leave at a certain time to get to the gym to play the game. And before I would leave with the bag packed and the shoes already laced up, I would just look at Larry and just, you know, me and him would have a quick conversation. And then I would go play basketball. You had a different experience. You would look at Larry, the actual person,
and say, let's go play basketball.
And then have a conversation. And then it would say, let's go play basketball. Slightly different experience. But, you know, the love is still there. The love is still there.
When Larry got the Pacer job, I was nowhere around. And in the press conference, he was like, I paraphrase this, basically, I'm going to resurrect Jalen Rose and turn him into a productive player for the team.
You owe him like $100 million.
I cut that out and put it on my refrigerator.
Really?
I was like, I'm not letting Larry down.
Just because you got all that bad food in there right before you're
I'm not letting Larry down.
Yeah.
I had paper on the walls.
You're going to reach for one of those 40s in there, just a refrigerator full of 40s. You open it up like, oh, Larry. There's Larry inside the fridge looking at you like, no, Jalen.
Absolutely.
We're going to resurrect his career, Jalen.
No question. I played Summer League and everything in my 4th year.
Summer League in your 4th year? It was Vegas or Orlando? Where
Orlando.
It was Orlando? Good.
I only played like 1 or 2 games. They're like, no, you good. Like, you sure?
Like, we bought a ticket for you home. This isn't for you. This isn't for you. Anthony Davis has had 45-16 and 48-17 in his last 2 games. They just beat the Celtics. There's rumors about him going to Boston. I'm not even going to discuss those.
I'm pretty sure most of the people who are spreading the rumor or discussing the rumor happen to work for or live in the Boston area.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And people have talked about Anthony Davis to Boston for years. It's just, you know, for some reason it bubbles up now and again. But here's the thing about this.
Because that's who he's playing against. Just dominated and beat him.
Yep. I don't think Anthony Davis or Boogie are going to leave the Pelicans this year. I don't think anyone's going to put together that trade.
I'm with you.
I don't see that happening. I do see Anthony Davis. People forgot about Dre. They forgot about Dre. Yep. You know, like the Pelicans weren't that good the last couple of years. You remember when we were doing the Grantland Basketball Hour, the Podfather, the Pelicans were the 8th seed and they lost to the Warriors, and Anthony Davis had this sort of MVP like breakout season. He was the unicorn before the unicorn. He's like, you know, unicorn senior. Everyone was talking about great ideas. People just kind of forgot about Dre. Giannis came along, LeBron came along, KD, Steph Curry. People forgot about Dre. I think Anthony Davis could legitimately make a case for the MVP if he continues to play this way and they get themselves into the 6th seed.
He's a top flight player. One of the best in the game, no question. But to whom as much is given, much is required. And if you're going to be a top 10 player, which he clearly is, now we want to see you lead your team to victory.
Yeah.
That's what's unique when large market teams get a star player. It's like in New York, everybody's happy they got Porzingis. In Philly,
Everyone's
of course, they're happy
Carmelo
about
too.
Embiid and Ben Simmons. In Lakerland, they're really happy they got Kuzma and Ingram are playing well. They've won a few games recently. And then what ends up happening is like, wait a minute, let me look at the standings for a minute.
yeah. Philly's out. Wait, in the Eastern Conference? Like, wait, what?
Let me look at these standings for a minute. And I agree with you on Anthony Davis because he doesn't play in one of the markets I just described. Mm-hmm. So he's not getting that level of hype or cute nickname or moniker that you get when you play in a large market. And he hasn't led his team to consistent winning toward in the playoffs that are going to have people saying, wow, he is that guy that is getting 45 and 16, yet is he the best player in the game? That's not going to happen until you're able to lead your squad to victory. And I hope, lastly, I hope and pray that I will, but today I am still just a bill. He and Boogie still stay. I hope he and Boogie continue to play together with the Pelicans.
I do too. I want them to get some pieces around them. You know, they obviously need a little bit of shooting.
I like Rondo. I like Holiday.
Yep.
I like them playing together. I hope they're able to do it for a long time.
It's Wednesday. Every Wednesday we celebrate the women around the world by taking only female voicemails. Let's listen to another.
Hi, Jalen Jacoby. This is Diana calling from Sacramento. I'm one of the lucky listeners who is fortunate enough to listen to the pod while I'm at work. Anyway, I have one comment to make today. I was listening to Wednesday's show, and you had mentioned that Oprah was the only person to have their own network. Well, there is one other person I had in mind, and that is Michael Bloomberg's network, and the name is Bloomberg Television, which appears to be only available on satellite TV according to Wikipedia. Anyway, thanks guys. Love listening to the pod and best wishes on your daytime TV gig.
Bloomberg got his own network. I lived in New York for a long time. Bloomberg News was kind of like they were out there trying to challenge CNN. They were doing their thing for a while.
Do your thing. Let me do my thing.
And Diana, I really appreciate you calling in. Sacramento, representing NorCal. Shout out. But one thing that we've never, ever, ever claimed to be here is 100% accurate. No. Take everything we say with a grain of salt. Don't put more thought into it than we did. Because it just felt like Oprah was the only person to have her own network. Because the own network feels like she personally curates every single program that's on there.
And also, it represents her initials.
Yeah. And Bloomberg got too much money. Do you see how much money Jeff Bezos has?
No.
You know he's the guy that owns Amazon or whatever?
How much?
I don't have it in front of me, but it's like $100 billion. He's like the richest person in the world.
How do you have $100 billion?
I'm going to look it up while we listen to the next voicemail. $105.1 billion. Let me say that again. Hold up. Jeff Bezos has $105 billion in American currency. I don't know what that means, whether it's in stock or it's company value or whatever it is, but $105 billion. He wouldn't just buy the Rockets. He could buy the entire NBA.
You know what else he can buy? Me.
Anything. Did you write down? I saw you write down his name when you said that. You're going to write your assistant and be like, "We need to hit up Jeff Bezos for some shoes for the JRLA."
No, I'm gonna write. Now I'm gonna put his name on the refrigerator.
I always love doing these podcasts with you, Jalen. This is just like the old school. We get in the studio, chop it up for an hour. Very little preparation, very little research,
and nonstop too.
Yeah, we don't have to stop for breaks. We don't have to argue with Harlan about when we can start again. This is great. I just want to say, you better hoop on Friday.
I'm going to hoop.
And we putting it on wax.
Really?
I'm going to play.
Really?
I need to run up and down. I can't just be walking around stiff.
I'll set you up. You can just stay on the outside. You can just stay in the corner. We'll run the offense through me.
That always happens as a retired player until I get there and I'm the tallest dude.
Of course.
I'm power forward center every time.
No, until we get down by 2 buckets. Get down there, Jalen. Get down there in the post. Thank you so much for listening. We'll always leave you the dope pod to step 2. We're looking to do every Monday, Wednesday, Friday while the Australian Open has preempted us on television. So we'll be back on Friday. Make sure you call, leave us voicemails at 985-80-JALEN. Tweet at us at Jalen and Jacoby. Rate us, review us, like us, anywhere you listen to podcasts. If you subscribe to the podcast, get your friends to subscribe to the podcast too. We do have some t-shirt updates. We don't have that many t-shirts, Jalen. So when you're out here promising that we're going to give away all these t-shirts, now we have to get more t-shirts printed.
Correct.
So we're going to get a new round of t-shirts. So they're not coming out this week.
Can we get 500?
But we're going to work on it.
We want 500.
Yes, I will send you the invoice after we order 500. We'll be back on Friday to get the people what they want.
Done. We're not done. We're not done.
Attention shoppers, clean up on aisle 14. Clean up on aisle 14. Someone dropped a jar of pickles. Pickles. Kosher pickles.
Beatboxing at a big box store. Surprising. What's not surprising? How much you could save by switching to Geico.
A red minivan has the lights on in the parking lot.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Geico.